I started layering all of my pre-made paints into a cup with the intention of doing a flip cup, which of course I did do. For your background information, all of my paints were high flow global paints mixed with a combination of floetrol and PVA to thicken them up and make them of consistency that would produce cells. There was the tiniest little bit of silicone added, and I was pleased with the paint structure and the vibrancy of the colours. As you can see this time, I'm applying the background colour onto the substrate. Unfortunately, I didn't have my normal spatula with me, and I was actually quite lazy and didn't stop videoing and just continued to go forward. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of difficulty to really getting the paint covered. The substrate, by the way, is a round MDF board primed of around 13 centimetres in diameter. I did the flip cup, as you can see, and immediately cells started to form, and they were quite beautiful, and I was really happy with the way they were looking. So I continued to add some phthalo purple now, as you can see around the edging, and that colour now that's being poured everywhere is a beautiful copper colour. And I think that that was one of my first mistakes, that the painting now started to look way too busy, even in the areas of the negative space. I was still happy though with the way that the cells were formulating in the centre. I'm using my torch now to remove air bubbles and to encourage some cell movement. In real time, that would have been probably 10 minutes after the flip cup. So I do like to let my cells after the flip cup have 10 or so minutes to try and organically form. I've started to realise that I've made for my own tastes, my negative space way too busy. I decided to start tilting, and I'm sorry that you don't quite see the whole tilt. As you can see, I became aware of that now and brought the substrate into view of the camera more efficiently. So here I am tilting away, and within myself I was getting quite frustrated that I had spoiled the negative space in my own opinion and wasn't happy anymore with what the outcome would be should I just left it like this. You know, some really beautiful cells surrounded by a blah space. In real life, it just didn't cut it for me. So I'm mucking around with the negative space now, and I was trying to blend the whites and the copper in to create a marbled effect to soften the negative space so it didn't look like a heavy hit. And I tilt some more. And then it came to me. If in doubt, swipe. I've saved many a unsatisfying pour by swiping, and swiping such a magical thing. This next swiping tool I'm using now, the first one was paper towel by the way, this bit of plastic there is actually a laminating pocket plastic, and I use that inspired by a fellow pourer, Julie Cutts, who uses beautiful plastic in her swipes, and it was really good to use. And as you can see, my cells started to form straight away, and I was much happier with this outcome. It wasn't as busy. Then I started adding phthalo purple little streaks, as you can see, and I wasn't really sure what I was doing at this point. Pardon me, but I thought they looked like sperm to begin with. I was like, what am I doing? Then I thought they were snakes, and I'm like, ew, I don't even like snakes. This is crazy. But I continued to follow my instincts, and next I was realized they were stems, and these are the shaping of the flowers, which I soon continued to work on and make them to look like abstract pansies. And they're really, really cute, and pansies are my favourite flowers. So by now I was really happy with my pouring achievement and the way that I'd been able to maneuver this fairly messy, busy pour into something that was tasteful, delicate, and really hopeful that within the dry it would hold much of the gorgeous features it had promised. Continue working on the flowers, as you can see, adding little bits of detail to enhance the detail and just make them pop a bit more from the background. The cells are still forming in the swiping area, and I really am happy with the way that everything looked. Just adding a last little bit of a magenta there. I think I do add a little bit more, and it's just really lovely. And now for the final torch here to remove the air bubbles, and then I realise you can't see the visual. So I've turned the painting around for you to see the fairies, the daisies, the pansies rather. Goodness me, and I was really happy with the outcome. And look at the gorgeous cells in the swipe, and it all stayed like this, beautiful.